the prayer of Amun-Rayay. And this was written by Panabab Yanun. He wrote the prayer in the back of the Patarak concentration. Namu Zul Shalu Amun-Rayay. Prayer of Amun-Rayay. Nuk Saduk bi Amun-Rayay Wu Nabeb Wu Maduhu. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers. Wu Mariyak who and his papari. Wu Manzar who Li Panan Zaman Wu Wakwak. Panabab Yanun and his warner for this day and time, the master Yanun. Kalel Amadak Happily Amun-Rayay Nadir Shalal Papatat Wu Pataha. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth. Anuki Nuwapu, I am Nuwapian. All right? What is that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us?
I have one. I just want to say something.
Very good.
Everything's just been working out in my favor lately, and without even the best of planning, like me getting my truck, my household, and everything just been in a flow state to where like I don't have no worries. You know, I have been having different spiritual experiences that we could speak on, but this one, like, just sitting back thinking on it, just like everything is just working out, and I know why, but I'm not really like sure at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
I do. But you have to remove all doubts, and the sky open up with even more blessings for you.
I got you.
Yeah. In other words, you can't just believe, you have to know. Because you are creating your own reality. And you are raising up the vibrational frequency. You follow me?
I follow you for sure.
All right. Next spiritual experience.
Amun?
Yes.
I'm the same with Aaron as well.
Go ahead.
And I said I'm the same with Aaron as well. Like a lot of things have been going in my favor. I've also been noticing that I've been seeing a lot of 333 and 444 a lot.
You know what that means? That means you're headed in the right direction spiritually. Those synchronicities are signposts from your oversoul that you're headed in the right direction. Spiritually. That was destiny for all of us before they laid the foundations of the pyramid, before they strung the stars across the sky. That was our destiny. And the whole cosmos is waiting with bated breath on that day. And they placing bets to see if we can make it. Like I said, they've seen a lot of tribes and communities of sin, like the Mayans. But they've never before, in the annals of history, seen a whole world transform at once. And that's what they're waiting for here. And it's going to take place. All you all have to do is want it. And you'll avoid the pitfalls of hell. That's right.
Moon.
All right, anybody else? I love you.
Yeah, Moon.
Yes.
This is Sar.
All right.
I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers.
Yeah, Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Now,
This is Anuki. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to ask, Asar, how much weight have you lost so far on my weight loss program?
About 50 pounds.
All right. That's a half 100. You say it again. Our sister said something.
I have said all right now.
Oh, yeah. But it's real. It's real, Amu. It's really real. Yes, real.
You know, I was on there myself with you.
Yeah, but you got to stay on it, be consistent. You can't let go. And you got to stick to the diet, be disciplined for real. It's only as serious as we are. You know what I mean? If you're serious about being disciplined with that diet, you lose 1 to 2 pounds every single day. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
I know because it worked for me. I know evil Khadijah. Yeah.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, it's real. Everything I do is real. And just like healing, a lot of people don't understand that it's not magic. But you see, all the galaxies out there connected electrically, like a spider web. They're all connected. They're like portholes, and they shoot photons. You can communicate. Messages ride on light. And all the stars are also likewise connected. And all the planets, and indeed all the people, we're all connected. That's how we're all one, by this cosmic grid. So when I focus on any individual, it's like I told you all, whenever you come in contact with other people and you shake hands, for example, if you concentrate on the connection, you open up a porthole between you and them. That means no matter where they are, you can always slide down that porthole and go to them, or they can slide down and come to you, right? But I can establish it with just my mind without coming in contact with you physically. But when I focus, if I just focus and concentrate on an individual, I open up a porthole to them, directly to them, and I can shoot those light photons and healing light down through that porthole directly to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's like Jesus used to ask them before he would heal, he would ask them a question. He would ask them, do you believe that I can do this thing? And when they replied in the affirmative and said, yes, I believe, then he would say that by your own faith may you be made whole. Is everybody understanding that?
Sure.
That means if you have any doubts about who I am, then you have doubts about what I can do. If you can't see me move stars, you can't receive no healing from me. You follow me? And if you don't believe, if you have doubts about who I am, then you don't believe I can guide you to heaven, and you'll be left behind. You understand? So it's your own doubts, your own mind that blocks you. Right? And I'm delivering evidence and proof to people all the time, constantly. I perform miracles daily. But if they don't believe it's me, there's none so blind as what? He or she who refuses to see. They just block it out. I don't believe that.
I'm spending my money in here.
Can't no man move no stars.
Yeah.
And their ignorant mind blocks it right out.
Right.
They refuse to see it. And they can't receive what's coming through me. All right? I love them, and I'll do anything in my power with patience to hope that they can make it eventually. And usually they come around, and when they do finally see it, they're the most ardent disciples. They're the most excited. You follow me? But you got to think there's usually something in their life and the patterns of their life that makes them want to doubt and refuse. You follow me? Now, why do you think there are atheists out there? There are atheists that exist for one reason. What do you think motivates people to not want to believe in the Most High or the Creator? You know it's not logical to believe in the creation and not the creator of it. Mute your phones. How you gonna believe in what's made but don't believe there's a maker? If you walk into a desert and you kick up a flat screen color TV and be talking about poof, we all gonna call you a damn lie. Poof my ass, you know somebody made that.
Ooh.
And you look in the mirror and look at yourself and you don't believe there's no maker? You look at the stars in the sky, you look at everything around you and you don't think there's no creator? But you believe in the creation. Well, you're ignorant. Either that or you're a reptilian devil. Or you lost touch with your own mind. You don't even know what's going on at all. You lost. But people they refuse to believe in the creator for one reason. It's because they know if they accept the reality of the creator, That means they have to accept his rules and regulations, his mandates, his commandments. Do you understand that?
That's right.
Sure.
So if you want to buck his commandments, if you want to have 7 wives and 9 husbands, or you want to kill people and steal and all this, well, you can't believe in the Creator. Do you understand? Because you know what's going to happen.
That's right.
But not believing in him don't make him go away. So it's going to happen. What it is you running from is going to descend on you. Whither to flee, there is no refuge.
That's right.
I mean, if you're in the room with somebody and they pretend like you're not there, does that make you disappear?
No.
No.
No, you be still there. Do you understand? Remember this about the Creator. You can pretend like you don't see him, but feel at all times he does see you.
That's right.
That's right.
And don't drag him into nothing you wouldn't. Don't play with the Most High. You understand?
That's right.
Cool.
All right.
Sure.
I love you all, and I want you to know that. And I know I'm not perfect, and I've experienced a lot of things. I walked on the wild side a little bit, you know. But I never went too far, like my brother Red and some of them. I never went too far. I always knew there was a cutoff, you understand? There was places I didn't go. He used to tell all this movies coming up, they wanted to go out and break windows or pull up old ladies' flowers or torture cats, and I wouldn't do it. And he would tell them, oh, don't worry, my brother, he's just like an angel. He ain't going to do nothing. I got tired of hearing that. So I started smoking cigarettes and having sex with girls and doing everything. I was thinking, hey, but who can't? I can do that. You understand? Who can't smoke a cigarette or drink some, drink some wine? Who can't do that?
That's right.
And then I found myself there it was, trying to prove something to the devil.
That's
What's the
right.
matter? You scared to take a puff? You scared to take a puff? Scared? I just don't. I don't need. I don't want no cigarette. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Oh, you scared to take a drink of whiskey? You're not a man enough to take. I just don't want. I don't have no. You need that? I don't need that.
That's right.
I don't like the way it smells. I don't like it. But they keep at you, and then if you get weak, the next thing you know, you drunk with them. That's right.
That's right.
I had a friend named Maurice in San Diego. He was a weekend alcoholic. And sometimes you would see him, he would be dressed up in 3-piece suits and going to Alcohol Anonymous and delivering lectures, and he would attack the podium, and he was so intelligent, this, that, and the other, neat. Next thing you know, you walk down the street, you see Maurice all in a ditch, drunk, knocked out, lint and grass all in his hair, then pissed all in his suit, all wrinkled up. You understand what I mean? And I asked him, I said, man, how did you get like that? You wouldn't believe what he told me. He said, well, I was a young teenager, and I used to go to parties all the time, and I was very shy and bashful. So I used to sit in a chair against the wall and just watch everybody dance and laugh and have fun. And I would always scared to ask a girl to dance or do anything like that. But one time, they had a party, and there was a punch bowl, and a sister walked over to me and said, Freddie, why you always sitting by yourself? Don't you want some punch? And so I said, okay, this time I got up. I said, yeah, I'll take some. And I walked to the punch bowl, and she dipped me one of them cups of that punch, and I drank it, and I started feeling real relaxed and good. Then I asked her, could I have another one? And I drank 3 of them cups of that punch, and I was dancing and telling jokes and having fun. That was the life of the party. When I walked home, my feet weren't even touching the ground. I was feeling so good. I never felt that good before. You said, but what I didn't know is that one of the boys came there and they brought some liquor and they poured it in the punch bowl. They spiked it, right?
Yeah.
So when I figured that out, he said, the next time I went to the party, I brought my own liquor with me. You understand? And I spiked the punch bowl. But I didn't know what kind of liquor that guy had, and I don't know how much he put in there. All I know is every time I went to a party, I woke up when he had took me home and I had passed out. I could never find out the exact formula of how much or what it was he put in there. That's how I got to be an alcoholic. So I know he used to love this black velvet whiskey. And he would hide some because in them days, they would have days that you couldn't buy liquor. And he would put like 2 bottles or 3 bottles back. He had a hiding place. He put a 5th. Then he put a bottle on the hiding place behind that deeper. Then he had a real deep special hiding place way back there. He would put that final bottle. So he never ran out. But I was his friend, so I watched all his hiding places, and he didn't really realize it. So I was over there one Sunday, and he was getting drunk, and he ran out. And he had already went to his first and second hiding place, so he was drunk and couldn't find that 3rd bottle, and he was back there throwing stuff around and cussing. And he finally found that last bottle. And I heard him in a few minutes. He was screaming like he was like somebody dying, like he was dead, dying or something. He was screaming so loud. And I knew what was wrong, but I didn't say nothing. I just sit there, and he came out there and he cussed and telling, I ain't gonna never. He threw that 5th bottle out there and busted on the ground about, I'll never drink that shit ever again. Never another drink. But what it is, I had went back there and got that 3rd bottle. And I steamed the label open, the top, and I unscrewed it. And I know he had arachnophobia. He was terrified of spiders. And I went out there and found a black widow spider. And I took a little small fishing weight, the lead weight you put on your fishing bobber, and some real thin fishing string. And I made a loop around the thorax, the middle of that spider, and I had it just long enough that when I dropped that weight down there, it hit the bottom of that bottle, and I had to kind of stuff that spider in there with a popsicle stick. And when I stuffed him in, and he got in the middle of that bottle, he just spread out. Them legs, he got big in that bottle, magnified it, and it just spread out in that bottle, got big as hell in the middle of that bottle. And then I glued that top back on and sealed it back again and put that bottle way back in its deep hiding place like always. And boy, that nigga went back there and dug and dug and dug, and he found that bottle. And I heard, I said, he found it. But I never told him it was me that did it, out of love, you understand? Now, I know a lot of y'all saying, Amun, you a cold guy. You wrong for that. But it worked, didn't it?
No.
See, now you know. Now you know me, see? Now you know me. Yes, he did.
Right back.
Yeah, he wouldn't touch another bottle.
That was good.
Y'all well done.
You think that was a good thing? That wasn't bad of me to do?
That was a good thing.
That's the right
It
thing.
worked.
That was the right thing.
All right, I love y'all. I appreciate it. I do.
I have a question.
All right.
So this Thursday, I wasn't able to get on call and I missed it. So could you send me the class?
I will send it to you. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Anuka said she sent it to you already. You have to check your email. All right. I have some spiritual experiences. I want to go. Some things been on my mind all night too. I've had a wondrous path here on earth. Sometimes it was very violent and sad. It was cold-blooded, painful, emotionally and physically. It was a nightmare in many ways. And in a lot of ways, it was just wondrous and beautiful. but in all times, it was always extraordinary. It was never, just like I was never average or regular. I never had a mundane life. I've always had contact with the spiritual realm. And I'll tell you about some of you all and your family. Some of you all have had people that dealt with Ouija boards and hoodoo and witchcraft and all kinds of different things. And in spiritual realms, you've had pastors and preachers in your family, are very spiritual people. And those family members done open up vortexes in that family lineage. And they kept the doors to heaven and hell open, and they pop open in you at times. You follow me? And it'll bring them devils through, them wicked spirits, or sick spirits, or either very heavenly spirits. And sometimes it's clashing energy, whether it's good sometimes and bad at others. You understand? But now, yeah. And so I've had both of those types of ancestors. The hoodoo and all that, and then my great-grandfather, Reverend Boltner, was a big Baptist preacher, known from coast to coast. Very big preacher. And a lot of spiritual, God-fearing people in my family on my mother and father's side. Very religious, spiritual people. But now, so those doors were always open. And then I had experience with my lab. I don't know how many of you all are familiar with my lab, or MK Ultra. Have any of you heard of that?
No.
I heard of it before.
Yeah, MK Ultra. Have y'all saw that video where Shaquille O'Neal was frozen on the film? Yeah, you saw it. Is that you, Danny?
Yeah, I said right back earlier, but you didn't hear me.
Oh, I didn't hear you, but I'm glad you're here. I don't want you left behind. I don't want anybody left behind, but I'm just glad you're here. Yeah, that MK Ultra, my lab, is a government project where they come into different schools all over the country, even in the South, and they test children, and they try to see your mental acuity as far as being able to see into other dimensions and things like that. Not just simply A, B, C, and X, Y, Z, and that and the other, but, not just math, arithmetic, and reading and writing and arithmetic, but also to see if you have spiritual abilities. And they IQ test and this, that, and the other. Intelligence quota. And they gave me those tests and they kept testing me, right? And when they do, and they see that you're a different kind of a being, and you have extraterrestrial ties, definitely, then they enroll you in my lab. And in different cities and states, they have different military bases. Sometimes they have vacant malls that when they close down, they use them. But when those selected children go to school, they take them out of school and put them on buses and drive them to these underground Navy bases and Air Force bases. And they inject them with different drug cocktails and hypnotize them. And then they show them different things on the screen, real fast video screens. And when you get ready to go back to a medical room, you pass by a room with a lot of card tables, for example, and there'll be a lot of military and medical personnel there. But when you come back out the room, you might see one extraterrestrial sitting in one of them chairs at the table. Or you could be sitting at a big, long table and you're surrounded by military officers and medical doctors and nurses. And then they take them things off your eyes and then you sitting across the table from one of them grays. One of them EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities. They just put it on you, boy. You be right there. And then they screen, they put a mind screen, something that erase your mind, so when you go home, they replace with artificial memories, make you think you went to a museum to see dinosaur bones and all that, but you was going through all that in my lab. And they teach you hand-to-hand combat, all kinds of different things, And they teach you mind control, remote viewing, and this, that, and the other. When you graduate from the program, I know when I was about 13 years old, I was in Michigan, and my mother enrolled me in a program called Big Brothers. I don't know how many of you all remember that. In the 60s, they had a program called Big Brothers.
Sure.
And Big Sisters, where an older man or woman would volunteer time to mentor young brothers and sisters, especially in the ghetto, that come from single-parent households and this, that, and the other. And there was this one white man that was my big brother. His name was Mr. Smith. And he had a little moped-type motorcycle. He used to come and pick me up on and take me way out. And I would rake leaves and different things for a little money. But then they would call me inside, and they had a big screen up in the dark playing all these kind of movies and things, and inject me with all these things. And I was used to it, because that's what they used to do to me in New Orleans. And the next thing I knew, it'd be extraterrestrial beings in there, and this and that and the other. A whole lot of them. And I'd be all up in the middle of them, and they'd be communicating with me telepathically, mind to mind. And by the time we got through with that, he put me back on that motorcycle and take me back home. But sometimes I would have reoccurring dreams and things where I would remember these things, and I would try to tell my mother, and she would just say, "Yeah, baby, Mama understand. Mama understand." And they were condescending like. But it got to one time I was sleeping at my grandmother's house, and I was in her bedroom on a little let-out chair, like a let-out couch, but it was a little green chair that led out into a little single bed. And there was a little window up and to the right of me, stained glass. And that night, when everybody was asleep, I got woke up by this high-pitched frequency over the roof, real loud, and the brightest light, brighter than 10 suns. The whole city was lit up. And I wanted to jump up and holler and go tell everybody, you know, what's going on? But I tried to move. I couldn't say nothing or move. I was paralyzed, right? And I knew they was right over the roof, right over the roof of the house. And I passed out, and I woke up the next morning, birds singing this, that, and the other. And I heard everybody in the kitchen, Reverend Shackelford, Brother Gibson, everybody that was over the usual gang, they was drinking Louisiana coffee my grandmother had made and talking this, that, and the other. So I was listening to hear them talking about what happened last night, because I know that's the only thing they're going to be talking about. They didn't say a word about that, so I finally had to go to the bathroom, so I walked real slow past them, and they still didn't say nothing. When I came out, I walked even slower. They didn't say nothing again. So me, I didn't say nothing to nobody for years, because back then in the 50s, you couldn't talk like that, or people think you had mental problems, right? And one day I was at home down the street with my mother. I was looking at cartoons, you know, with the rabbit ears on the TV, black and white, and I was sitting in the chair backwards like little boys do, and leaning on the back of the chair looking at cartoons. But she was singing gospels in the kitchen, washing dishes. She had one foot over the other, and the blue robe on, was singing gospel because she was raised by Reverend Boatner. And I looked at my mother, and she had a big, bright blue aura all around her head and body, a big, bright blue, or predominantly blue. And it was the biggest. I had seen auras around people before, but this was the biggest aura I ever saw. And I got up and walked over to her, and I pulled on the robe. I said, "Mama, one day everybody gonna have real big heads, and this is the thought world." And she looked down at me again, pat me on my head. She said, "Yeah, baby, Mama, no, the same way, right?" But like I told you, she had took the 4 eyes off the stove, them iron eyes off the stove, and put them in that little sink and was washing them in the suds. And then she was taking them out and rinsing them and putting them back on the stove. And she got 3 of them up there, and then she kept peeling them around in that little shallow water for the 4th one. Had me in that water looking, so I unplugged the sink. The water went out, it wasn't in there. So we looking under the sink, behind the stove. We looking all through that little kitchen. We never did find that thing, not till this day. And I was thinking to myself, that's it right there, you see? So baby mama knew, but she knew then. You understand? And she told me, "I always do that about you, Larry. You my child. I always do that about you." And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize, but these extraterrestrials, they do that by family group. So there'd be other people in your family that had contact with him too, and they just don't say nothing either. You understand? But some of you all that have trouble nosebleeds, or either you have trouble breathing like asthma and things like that, that's because your bloodline is from a different atmosphere, from a different world. You have to adjust to eating here. I mean, to breathing here. And you don't like to eat. A lot of you don't. You have eating disorders where you don't, my mother used to have to whip me to make me eat. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to eat no food, and I know I used to go to sleep, and when I get ready to get up to go to, there was a light on the wall, a bright light on the wall, and I used to stare at that white light. I used to stare at it because it reminded me of being on those crafts with their bright lights, and I used to keep staring at that light until I fell asleep, or either my mind was awake and my body was asleep. And then way in the morning when I wake up for school, I would be floating on the ceiling with my back to the ceiling looking down at my body. Now, I didn't say nothing because I thought that happened to everybody. It took me years and years to find out that everybody didn't experience that. You understand what I mean?
That's right.
There wasn't ever no BEs like that. And I've had so many spiritual experiences, it would shock the average pedestrian or mortal. You understand? But I've been out there taken up by them many times. I remember one time, that was recently here in Millersville. Malachi was already locked up in Colorado, and he had like 12 big giant trailer trucks full of books and things, and they had a cell on them out there in Atlanta. And I drove out there as an elder to get some of them books, and they were always nasty towards me. I don't know why, because I was good to all of them, and the best helper, and donated the most money and services to the mission than anybody on earth. I used to take them in when he put them out on the street, all that. But it was something about me they just didn't like. You know what I mean? And so they gave me all the books they didn't want, and all the people in there, and I had a bookstore. It was my 5th bookstore. And they gave me like 3 cases of Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew Israelite. Now what I want with that mess? And they gave all the real good books to all these little reptile niggas that didn't have no bookstores, wasn't propagating nothing, and probably was using for toilet paper. Just nuts, you know what I mean? I was saying, like, these niggas are the devil, and they still are. But anyway, I got home and pulled them cases of books out and put them in the kitchen. I kept opening up one after another, and they was all Hebrew Israelite. And I was hot. I was 38 hot as fish grease. But I went to sleep that night, and I woke up on the craft. Not unusual. I was sitting on the back, like on the back seat of a bus, like it was. That's what it seemed like to me. And I looked over to the right. How they had a long seat going on the side of the bus. If you sit on the back seat, they got a long one on the right-hand side. And there was a mummy there in perfect white linen, dressed up so neat and tight, but it was kind of small. So I didn't know who it looked like. It might be a little female or something. I think I know who it is, not a sister. But it was so neat and tight. And I stopped looking at that. Then I got up and I started walking up the hallway. And I walked all the way to the front. And it opened up with control panels and all. And that was Malachi. He was standing in front of this big concave window with the stars at his back, leaning against the console. And I could feel on my right and left on the same kind of little side benches down there was some more niggas sitting there in the dark, and I couldn't see them, but I could feel their presence. When I started walking up the hallway, Malachi saw me say, "Here come Ahmed, the man who brought Hebrew Israelite to the planet Earth." Sarcastic, like, right? Here come Brother Ahmed, the man who brought Hebrew Israelite to the planet Earth. And I want to say, fuck you. You know what I mean? You know I didn't want that shit. But I didn't say nothing. I just turned around and walked back. I just walked back and sit back down. And there was some kind of little pipe like stovepipe that be on the roof that the steam come out of the smoke on my right-hand side, and the lid popped open and a kind of dummy, an ugly dummy like Walter Winchell popped up out of that said, "You be dead before Christmas." And I screamed, "You a goddamn lie," and the whole ship shook. Then I woke up back home. So I don't know the meaning of that, you know, except that that was about 8 Christmases ago and I'm still here, even though I have been dead like at least 3 times that I can remember. So much for what you thought death was, it's not real. There is life after death. Only thing relevant is whether you spend it in heaven or hell. That's up to you. That's the only thing you got control over. But I've been involved with the extraterrestrials a lot. One of the biggest times is I woke up and I was standing on the ground. It was dark. And I looked up in the sky, and it was a bright star. That's what it looked like to me. And it was getting brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger. You know, like I make stars come close to y'all. How many of you see me do that? Make the stars come close to you at night?
I have.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Well, it was coming closer to me just like that. Closer and closer and bigger. Mute your phones. And it was, the closer it got, mute your phones. Star 6 your phone. The closer it got, the bigger it got. Then I saw another little star just like it, a bright object going, circling around it. Like Saturn rings, it was circling around it. And it got closer and closer and bigger till it got so close, it wasn't no space between me and it. It just like swallowed me up in the light. Then I lost consciousness. Then the next thing you know, I was out there in space and I was looking down on the earth and the moon from out there. It was so beautiful and tranquil. I never will forget that feeling whenever I'm out there and I can see in space, see things. And I looked down and earth, it was beautiful, but I saw it was 2 armies. The one on the right had black vests, and they looked not like insects or reptiles. I don't know what they looked like, extraterrestrials. And then they had human armies on the left, and they clashed. And them human armies, they didn't have no chance. It was just terrible to watch them. You like you can see you get in a fight, and you hit them, and they just hit the ground. It was just like that. Then the next thing I know, I lost consciousness again. And I was way out there in space, deep out there. And I looked down, and to my left, I saw Nibiru, just like in the books. I saw Nibiru in every detail, perfectly clear. And there was a little bright object down and to the left of that. And I thought, that's that little thing that was going around and around it. And then I saw a sham on the left-hand side, a perfect sham. And it was black, pure black. And it had a gold around a big hole in the bottom, and it was trimmed in gold. And I saw 3 more gold rings come up, cling, cling, cling. And then something told me to turn right, and I looked to my right, and there come a little baby, brown-skinned baby girl. She was perfect, and it was tumbling, head, you know, sideways, like doing, what do you call it, cartwheels? Yeah. She was doing cartwheels toward the earth. She was going toward the earth doing cartwheels. And somehow or another, I knew that was one of my students, one of my disciples named Susie Campbell. She was 86 years old before she passed in Brooklyn, New York, right? And I was with her when she passed. I went right to her. And she was in my arms. I was patting her back, and she was crying and crying. And I said, "Why are you crying like that?" And she told me, she said, when they came to come out the rescue squad, she said, when they came to get me, my hair wasn't braided up and all that, you know. And I said, "That's it? That's what you," I said, "Don't worry about that. They catch people in all kind of, that ain't, your hair wasn't done." That, I said, "Oh, come on, no." I said, "That ain't." And when I got through playing with her about that, then she got all, you know, relaxed and quiet. She got happy. I told her, I said, "Now, you gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. I'm with you, you know." And she said, you with me, Ahmed?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm with you." And then the next thing I know, I was down there on the bureau, sitting in the seat, and they had a port round window to my left. And it was a being on my right. And it was like them Anastasia and Hopi Indians you talk about. It was like a big black insect with a black exoskeleton. Had a long, long hair in the back. And he just, when I looked at him, he just, and I started talking to myself. I said, the bureau is a sentient craft. It's part metal and stone and gems, but it's part living soul. And he just was going with his head nodding, saying, yeah. And I saw some light behind my back, and I turned around and looked. It was a little medical facility room, and it was my mother. She was on the bed, and her hair was black, jet black, and she was looking real young, like in her late 20s or early 30s. She was vibrant and strong and healthy. I was real happy with that vision. And then she had a nurse, a black nurse, on her right-hand side with her back. The nurse back was to me in a white nurse uniform, just like a regular one. And I knew she was black because she had brown legs. I could see the stockings in her arms. And that nurse was there, but the nurse didn't turn around. But I turned back around and started looking. I was content with that vision. I was happy with it. My mother was all right, young and in heaven and happy. And I turned back around and I started looking again at this guy next to me, this being next to me. And I started looking at him harder and harder, and he started coming in clear. And next thing you know, pop, I was back home in bed again. Now, if that happened to y'all, I don't know how you would take that. But things like that used to happen to me all the time, and it still do. Now, I haven't been getting as many visitations. I know I got a visitation recently from Bashar. But I figured out something last night, because I was woke all night. As these helicopters and planes used to come over my house all the time. And I got people right here who bear witness to it, if they will.
I bear witness to it. This is Nikki.
Hotel. I bear witness to that.
All right. And so the thing is, okay. All right. So I put up a blue shield coming from out the center of my being that was going out past the house and past the city, way out of space in every direction. It's like a ball, and blocking all things from getting close to me. So the helicopters and planes can't go over the house no more. And when I even hear them, I close my eyes, and just like I move the stars on the whole creation, I start making their panels start smoking, and the plane or the helicopter start dropping and aim them towards Donald Trump or the FBI, any place except around me, and they disappear. That's right. But I was thinking, I'm keeping a lot of things away from me too, so I got to figure out a way to balance it out where I can keep the evil back and the negative back and open it up for the good, right? But I was just laying on a mat with Bashar, and I saw a silver craft land with tripod legs on it, and it was a steamy kind of foggy atmosphere. That's why Yanun used to always tell y'all to burn incense, because angelic beings, extraterrestrials, they like that kind of a foggy atmosphere. You know, they like that. They dwell in that. And yeah, they do. And he got out the craft and was walking toward me. He wasn't even 5 feet tall, or no more than 5 feet. And he looked kind of human, but he wasn't human all the way. He was a hybrid, like me, like myself. I'm a chimera. And he walked to me, and then he walked past me and went through a doorway over my head. Then after a while, he walked back in the room, and he looked down at me, and he said, I care. He called me I care. He said, that means the last, or lion, the last, lion of the tribe of Judah, I care. He said, did you call me I care? And I said, I didn't call nobody. And he shook my hand, and the palm of his hand, he had a glove on, but the palm of his hand and his fingertips was outside the glove, if that's what you want to call it. But his palm was real warm, warmer than a human being. And then he went back to bed, and I haven't seen him no more. But I have seen that I was looking out the window and the porthole opened up in the sky. And I looked out the window because I heard a car engine in the sky. And so I was thinking, revving the engine, boom, boom. And when I looked out there, a porthole that opened up in the sky, nebulous clouds, pink and lightning flashing, and all that. And the car came driving out the sky, out the night sky, and it went down through the roof of my store, the right stuff. And I was thinking, now what is that? Then the car pulled up in the parking lot, and it was about 4 beings in it, little short, kind of thick white people. And they walked up to the door and knocked on us, so I let them in. And I had the brother Hotep, he was with me right here. But he don't remember it, you know. But I didn't trust them because I don't trust white folks. And I don't trust most black folks. I've learned that through experience. You can't trust people. They're not worthy of your trust.
Ooh.
And so I was kind of short and not really insulting, but I was really short with them. And they finally just gave up and got back in the car and drove away. I don't know where they went. But I know I was looking back at that porthole, and I was moving the star, and it was one of them little fellows was to my left. And he was using his mind to try to stop what I was doing. And I stopped and looked at him real hard, and look, he got scared and took off and let go of that metal grip he had on what I was moving. I was thinking to myself, you better run. Yeah. But I know the last time, not the last time I saw Malachi, but the time before that, I went up on the board and I saw him, but I tell you, it wasn't a very happy thing. He pushed me in my back real hard and I responded by jumping on him. But I was leaving. I know when I saw myself, I was a real big, tall, extremely good looking. I'm not just talking, I'm just describing what I saw. Extremely good looking being, a majestic, tall being. Looked like I was about 9, 10 feet tall or something like that. And I was dressed in white. And I was going back down the tunnel, coming back to earth to my own, to here. And Malachi came behind me flying up the tunnel, and he said, before I left, I looked over the table, and we were staring in each other's eyes deep. And I didn't say, why you do that kind of stuff, brother? But I said, you know I love you. And he looked at me and shook his head like and dropped his head down on the counter. And then when I was going down that tunnel coming back, he flew behind me and said, you won't even let me promote my own son. And I didn't even respond to that. You know, like saying, like, which son? And for what? They're not me. They're not even you. What are you talking about? I didn't say none of that. I just came back. But, you know, I need you all to try to figure out what all these things mean. You know what I mean? Because I'm curious about a lot of things that be happening. But I've had so many experiences. I wonder if you all have any questions about any spiritual experiences that I might have had.
I do.
Yes.
Oh, so that time that what you was talking about earlier, spirits you had, was you saying that you was on a ship?
Yeah, on the UFO, yeah. I'll be on them a lot.
Oh, because you said that you seen somebody that had passed away.
That had passed away?
Yeah, you said...
Yeah, the mummy, and that was the sister that's in Colorado. She was doing a lot of work for Malachi. I loved her. Yeah. And she used to tell me, sometime I called her, she called me, and she was saying, Ahmed, you know, I was laying in my bed, and 3 elders came to me, and they lifted me up with their mind about my bed in the air. And they was telling me that they'll be coming for me pretty soon, right? I forgot her name, but I used to love that little young sister. I loved her. I don't know what she passed from, but I knew that was her.
Okay. So you saying when you was on the ship, you seen somebody that had passed away?
That was her.
Oh, but how was you able to see somebody that's not alive?
How was I able to? Because I was vibrating on a spiritual frequency myself. In other words, they took me up in the spirit. you got to understand, you're not that physical body. You're not that situation. You're only watching this happen from above. The real you, little sister, is not what you see in the mirror. The real you is on the inside of that flesh. Do you understand? All your body is a fungus that's clinging to the light.
Oh, and you said that the elders or something said that they'll come back to get you. What does that mean?
That's what they told her.
Oh.
I am an elder. I'm the head of the elders.
I had a question, Messiah.
Yes.
When did you have that last dream? The one where Malachi pushed you?
That wasn't too long ago. That was probably within a year. It wasn't that long ago. I was trying
to wrap my head around that one. Yeah, because like I was thinking maybe he's pushing you into like the spotlight to take your role, but I don't.
To do what now?
I'm gonna come back to that. I thought maybe like he might.
Well, no. What did you say? He might be. You might have it. What do you think he might be doing? Why he do it?
Like pushing you into your role, like into the spotlight.
I don't know, but he pushed me kind of hard. But I'm gonna tell you what it reminds me of. We was in Georgia here, and he was still free. And he called a big gathering in Macon, Georgia, at a building that we was raising money all over the world to buy, a big temple for the Eastern Stars, Masons, and Shriners, right? And we was donating millions of dollars, lots of money to buy that building. And anyway, he got all that money and didn't buy that building. He bought a mansion in Athens, Clark, Georgia, instead for himself. But anyway, I was at that ball, or whatever you call it, and Mary Elliott and all of them was there, and I brought my son Suleiman, and he was selling Shriner hats for the shrine, big red top hats for $300, and I bought one for me and for one of the brothers that couldn't afford it. But when the hats came in, they had hats for everybody except me, that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? So I had to put on a Shriner cap to go with my regular Shriner gear on, but I had a cap with a bill on it, a little cap on my head. Anyway, I was sitting down in the audience, and there was a catwalk up over us, and he was up on that catwalk looking down at me. And he kept pointing at his watch. Like in the dark, the music and stuff was playing, and I don't know, he was trying to say something, and he kept pointing at that watch real hard, like the time. And I don't know what time? I don't know what he's talking about. And I just kept shrugging my shoulders, hunching my shoulders, like telling him, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And anyway, after we ate and all that, I was getting ready to leave, and I saw one of my friends, Dr. William Thomas, emergency room specialist out of Washington, D.C. He was behind the place where you check your coats and all that. So I went to talk to him and shake his hands, and Malachi had one of them little niggas running behind me. It hit me hard in my back, right under my neck, on the top of my shoulders, in the middle of my back, real hard. And I thought to myself, now what is wrong with these niggas? And I looked up at him, and I know he was watching, so he was the one making that happen. So I left and came home. But anyway, when I was up on that craft the last time, the way I got hit in the back up there on that craft was exactly the same way, with the same amount of power, in the same place. It was the exact same thing. That's how I knew it was him. And it wasn't because I turned around and saw him, but I knew it was him. You understand? If he didn't do it, he'd the one had one of them little niggas do it. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't even get a chance to think this time. I just reacted, and with I turned to pure energy and just ran into him, and next thing I know, he was on the floor. That's it. Then I got up, and I walked around the corner, and there was two brothers standing there, and me and the two brothers was talking. I don't remember the conversation, but I was talking to them. And then I went back out, and I got around, looked like a bar scene or something, but I said, I told her it was a sister that was a heavy-set, like brown-skinned sister that was in there, and she heard me say, I love you. And I said, man, you know I love you. I said it again. And I said, where that sister, that brown-skinned sister? And she walked back outside. She said, here I am. I said, didn't I say that? She said, yeah, he said that. He said he loved you. And then I looked at myself from up in the air, and I was real tall and I hate to keep saying, but real, extremely good looking, shining, just a magnificent being, I'm telling you. And then I start going back down that tunnel to come back here to y'all. And he ran behind me and said, you won't even let me promote my own son. Now what you think that meant? I know you're talking about Abraham or one of them niggas. But
okay.
He didn't have too many classes where he said, my sons and my daughters, they're not like me. They don't have no connection like me. They're not like me. They're not like me. They're mortal beings. Do you understand? Over and over again. So I kept thinking to myself, promote him for what? You understand what I'm saying? To be me?
Sure.
I got sons too, nigga, and they can't be me. And yours can't be you.
Did you ever figure out which ones he was talking about?
No. It's two or three of them that it could be.
Either way, they're not you.
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
Either way, they're not.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, he don't want it to be me. I don't. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know what it was. I've never done nothing but helping the Wapians. I'm the best helper ever. You understand? And I propagated the mission more than anybody. You understand? And he and I are one. He says in all his letters, he says, you and I are one. We're the same. You and I have the power to lift a stone with our minds and all that. Yeah. You know. So there's something going on there. Huh? Yes.
I think that he was trying to say that he wanted he wanted his sons to take your place.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's what I got out of it.
He wanted you to bow down to him.
But that's not what, see, I know, bow down to him, yeah, I hear you. But when we was on Earth, let me tell you what's confusing about that. I was on Tamaray the first time it happened with my then demonic mate, Khadijah. And we was walking around through the Maharaj. I don't know how many of y'all remember the Maharaj out there. And,
oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, you remember the Maharaj. Anyway, Malachi was walking up on the levee up there with Bat 10 out of Texas, 6'5" Bat 10, used to be his personal chef. And he looked down at me, and Malachi bowed all the way down at the waist, way down toward me. And I was confused when he bowed down, so the only thing I did is bowed back down to him. Do you understand? But he kept doing it. Every time I saw him, he would bow down to me, and had brothers and sisters, when they saw me in the office, they would bow down to me. And one time, his first disciple, Yahya, and Bat 10 came out to my house here. And I was gone, and Khadijah went to the door, and they said, we came to see the brother Ahmed. She said, he's not here. And so they bowed down and prostrated on the ground like Muslims do, put their faces to the ground. And then they stood up and dusted themselves off and said, tell the brother we came by. Do you understand? So they was all bowing to me, including him. You understand? So that dog don't hunt. You understand what I'm saying? He knows who I am.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's always been jealous of you too.
Whatever, but I know what it is. I think absolute power corrupts absolutely, and he don't want to let go of that power. When you got people that so love you so much that men and women will let you molest their little boys and girls, and you don't say, and they don't say nothing, and then he'll have sex with your wife, and then turn around and have sex with the men too, and everybody shut up, and they'll give their houses and all their money and all their life and years to him, do anything he say. That's a lot of power right there for one man. Do you understand that? And maybe he don't want to turn that loose. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've seen him as a reptilian too. I know one time he had his case here in Millersville, Georgia. And so there was a lot of brothers and sisters that had radio stations and things like that. And Comcast TV, and I got on my cell phone because I was sitting in my rocking chair at home, and I heard a big giant helicopter over the roof. It was shaking pictures all off the wall, so I went out there, and that was them, the government. And so I jumped in my car, a white 98 Oldsmobile, and I started driving toward Tamaray. It was about 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And when I passed by Ingles Supermarket, I saw his van parked out there. So I pulled in the parking lot, and young sisters standing all outside. The big bay window was broke with glass everywhere, and they was all crying and shook up. And I asked them what happened. They said, well, we was at Kmart, and he was buying us jewelry. And these FBI feds and all that ran out with guns and all that and arrested him in Millersville, Georgia. And I said, well, don't cry. I threw my house keys to him. I said, y'all know where I live. Go on there and make yourself comfortable till I get back. And so I was driving down to go to Shaydale Road to go down to Tamaray. And they were saying, you can't get through. And they had roadblocks all up, and I saw all them body bag trucks and Forestry Department, the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, the GBI, all of them was out there. Helicopters all over Tamaray. And he was parachuting down and all this. And I said, what is all this? So I got on my cell phone and I called all the radio stations that I knew and told them brothers and sisters, I said, put out a general signal all over the world. Tell everybody that's a concerned citizen to merge on Tamaray right now and start going around in circles and recording everything they see. And I'm telling you, in a few minutes, them cars was there, tailpipe to tailpipe, going around Tamaray. And pretty soon, they started backing off and folding up their body bags and getting in them trucks and leaving, and they didn't touch nobody on Tamaray. You think them niggas grateful for that? Hell no. They still hate the ones that's controlling them tell them lies about me. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I can't figure out why it's been. I know Malachi runs that organization. Now, I don't know what that means. I know the last time he had a ball in Athens, Georgia, the Athens ball, the comedian, there was a magician up there, and then a black comedian came up there. He usually come up there, and he was cracking jokes, and he got through, and Malachi started walking up the steps on the stage. He walked past that comedian and told him, better not crack no joke about me, I'll put a curse on you. And that nigga got so scared he was hugging the wall with his back, sliding down like he was part of the pain. Then Malachi looked at the audience and started walking back and forth with his hand behind his back, and he stopped and stared again. Then he walked back. Then he finally approached the podium and grabbed it and stared at the audience and said real clear and loud to us, you Nuwabians are those fallen angels. You could hear a rat piss on cotton. It was so quiet in there.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
Y'all was there. What did the nigga say when he said that?
They didn't say nothing. They were quiet.
And Hotep right here, he was sitting right next to me. He was there too.
Hotep, I bear witness to it.
Yeah, they was there with me. Y'all was there with me. You know what I mean? And he said, you Nuwabians are those fallen angels. Now, what got me about that? Let's look at that. Let's analyze that real quick. Don't be scared to look. Okay. The Nuwabians are fallen angels. I don't believe that man told that serious lie like that. Okay, they're the fallen angels. But my question is to you, who was the leader of the Nuwabians when he said that?
He was.
Then who's the leader of the fallen angels?
Yes.
That's the answer. That's the answer. That's the answer. That's why you been doing me like that all this time. And worse. That's the answer.
Amun.
I know it's hard for y'all to accept. It's hard for me to accept. Go ahead. I love him more than all of y'all. Go ahead.
Amun, was he a part of your test or something?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I mean, I always figure it takes me years and years, but it always comes to me. You know what I mean? And as soon as it comes to me, I'm gonna tell y'all what that all mean. You know what I'm saying? You know I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna make up nothing if I don't know. If I'm asking y'all what you think, then you know I don't know. Or I don't want to face it. I just told you what it is. He's the head of the fallen angels. But I don't understand a lot of stuff. You understand me?
Yeah, I understand, Amun.
That don't make it less confusing. You understand what I mean?
Sure.
Amun?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel after each of these encounters or visions or whatever? How do you physically feel?
I don't regular, normal. You know, I just be going when I first come to myself. I just be going over and over in my head to try to figure out what it means. You understand?
Yeah.
And for months and weeks and years, I keep reliving it over and over again. I keep trying to figure out what it means. Because he wasn't only doing bad stuff to me like in visions, he was doing that to me in real life more than anything. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, real bad, ugly stuff.
Yeah. He was just
all the time.
He wanted to be you, but he couldn't be you. He wanted your place, but he couldn't be you.
Yeah, but I don't understand it because, see, what you call the head of the fallen angels or the devil or whatever that he went down and shifted into, he was the second in command of all creation. You know how big that rank is?
Right.
No, he was the third in command because Paul is number one. And I'm number one and he's number 3. Third in command over all creation. You ain't satisfied with that?
I'm wrong with it. Some job. He wanted all.
All right, so tell me this here. Then why do you look at little boys and girls and think like that? It's more to it than that. You hear what I'm saying, Bess?
So, Amun, who number 2?
Me? And Faoul is number 1. Number 1, Faoul will always be number 1 to me.
Understand.
Because Faoul appoints the Most High. Do you understand what I mean?
That's right.
That's why I can move the whole creation with my mind, because I was appointed by all. But Yanun was appointed and sent too. I'm his brother. I'm his big brother. Just like I tell you in count 1, Patarak, count them not. I'm his brother.
Amun, y'all the yin and yang?
I guess. But if I start telling y'all some of the things he's done to me, you wouldn't believe it. If I start telling you some of the things he done to some of y'all, you wouldn't believe it. You would have saw. You probably know. I saw you know some more things than a lot of them here know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amun, another question.
Yes.
Did you know what being occupied Malachi when all these things were happening?
No, I don't. But I know in the Holy Tablets, he wrote in the Holy Tablets that there's one being, a demon, that's so powerful that when he gets inside of him that he can't control it, right? So I figure that's the one right there. You understand?
Yep, that one.
Right. That make you look at little boys and girls and think that, or look at a guy like me that's your best friend and helper in the whole planet. Why would you attack me?
What? Do you know the name?
Say it again?
You know the name?
No, I don't know the name of that demon. No, I don't. But I think his name is Semjaza. Iblis. Y'all call him Satan. Some people just call him the devil, Legbar. Beelzebub.
Name, right?
Huh?
Iblis is in Islam, right? Like that's the name.
Yes, it is. That's right. I'm also Imam Ahmed, if y'all didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah. So if anybody has a question about Islam, I'm here. I'm also a ordained minister. Go ahead.
So I understand that your book is destined to happen then.
Say it again now.
I said I understand that your book is destined to happen.
That's right. I was thinking about that too. I'm glad you reminded me. Because I'm going to be calling up some of y'all. I got some people in mind. I want to help me to arrange my book in order so I can hurry up and get it published to the world. All right? The Book of Amun.
Sure.
I want some people I'm going to send them excerpts for them to arrange it. I'm going to see how it looks when they get through with it, the way they see it. And if it comes out pretty good, then that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to send out different sections to different people, and then I'm going to put it all together. Do you understand?
Sure.
In other words, I'm going to give y'all all the information. Do you understand? Sure. And whoever can organize the information the best, that's what I'll use. You understand what I mean?
Sure.
It needs to be interesting, riveting, and most of all, informative and effectively transforming people. Do you understand?
Sure. Yeah, we need that this day and time.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
that's why I'm doing it, son. I love you. Go ahead.
My mind keeps running back to when the time that he killed the Messiah on top of the mountain and tried to point down and show him all of that there that he would give him. He would give him.
Say it again now. Say it one more time. Best say it one more time.
My mind keeps running back to the time when Satan kid Yahshua up on the mountaintop, way up on the high mountain, and pointed down to all of this stuff down there. He said, I give all this to you if you just bow down to me.
That was what the devil said to Yahshua, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what my mind keeps running back to.
If you would only bow down to me. And Yahshua's response was, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, the Lord God only shall I worship, and him alone shall I serve, and him alone shall I worship. And with that, he walked out on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, and that's the day he walked on water. Because he had transformed and shifted into a spiritual master, the divine incarnated in flesh, and he was no longer affected by gravity, right?
Right.
And he can calm down the raging sea, stop storms, and, but his first miracle was at the wedding of Cana when he turned the water to wine. But you'd be taken up in degrees. You don't just wake up one day and then you be a supreme being. It comes in increments. You know what I mean?
Understand.
First you can do this, you can turn water into wine, then you can do more, and then you can do more and more until you start coming out to your full glory. So the best is yet to come with me.
Understand.
Because I can do anything, and I know that. I mean anything. If I can move the whole creation, and I do that all the time, what do you think I can't do?
You can do everything.
Except what I haven't tried to do, what I haven't imagined.
That's right.
That's right.
Because the mortal aspect of me that he gave me in his work, mortals have doubt. Do you understand? The mortal mind has doubt. You understand that?
That's right.
Understand.
So I understand when people have doubts about me, I have doubts about myself, and I know I'm doing it. I know I'm in the holy tablets and all the Patarak and all the actual. I know it's me. You know it's me, so you don't think I know it's me, but I still have doubts. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes I move the moon, I have to go outside and look at it with my own eyes. You understand? I have to watch it move with my own eyes. Even though I know it's moving, I hear y'all tell me, yeah, it's moving. That's crazy, right?
No, I understand.
Yeah, I need everybody to step outside, man. I have so much to give y'all. I don't even have time tonight to cram it, squeeze the elephant in the thimble. I have so much that I can't plan. I got so much to tell y'all. So much. Please step outside. Everybody's serious. Don't have it. And I'm telling you right now, as a collective, we got the power to wake up the world and transform the world and raise 144,000. But we got to come together. Y'all have to realize your power and start exercising instead of just sitting there like you're crazy. You got to get out there and start posting up these posts all over the world and making these. Every class got to be bigger and bigger. If they stay on the same side, people ain't doing their job. You see, to go out there and post up and post it, then every week, every class, y'all report on who you saw out there posting up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's right. When people see you in LinkedIn and Instagram and Telegram and Facebook and Twitter and all these places and more, and they report back to us, so-and-so is posting up all the time. That brother or sister's posting up everywhere. Then you know they're doing their job. They're earning their seat. Well, if they're just sitting there, waiting for heaven to come knock on the door and find them, they're crazy. All right, who's outside, and what do you see in the sky right now?
Not a lot of clouds, but I can see some.
We're outside the cloud. We see a star.
You see a star? All right. Raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Going up, Messiah.
Raising up.
All right. Now drop down, name of Amun-Rayay. It's wobbling.
Going back down.
Dropping down.
It is wobbling.
Yeah. Now move to the left in the name of the Messiah. Yeah, y'all know it's me. But sometimes something crawl up in you and you have doubts. All right? Go around clockwise. Go around a circle clockwise. That's what I'm saying. Now people will be missing.
Move it clockwise.
Tell me, people that miss class, what are they running? What are they after? If it's not me, where are they going? What they running at? What they looking for?
They gonna get help. They ain't here too.
That's what they gonna find. There ain't no way to the Father except through the Son. If there's no way to the Father except through the Son, and anybody with any common sense that ain't mentally dead from the neck up, they know damn well it's me.
Yeah, that's right.
Now they can be like the devil, the fallen angels, and don't like it. They wish it was somebody else. Well, it's not. I'm the one. And I love them all, I do. But they are fallen angels. All right? What do you see in Canada, and London, and Africa? Is the brother here from Africa?
I see a star moon.
Okay. You see a star? Cheryl, that's my bliss right there. All right, go on a circle clockwise.
Moving clockwise.
All right.
Moving clockwise.
How's that weather in London, Cheryl?
Not bad. Coming into summer.
Oh, all right. You got something to do with all that. Okay, Christian Villa, where you at?
Virginia.
You in Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia. Yes, sir.
All right, what do you see?
I see some clouds, but I see a few stars.
All right, I'll make those stars move to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay.
They're already moving left, every one of them.
Moving left.
That's right. All right. Now, all creation, raise up in the name of the Messiah.
Raising up fast.
It's raising up. Yeah.
Now, all creation, drop down in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Coming back down.
Going down.
I love you all. Write testimonies tonight about these classes and post them up everywhere. Look here, y'all send some donations in and support this mission. We are one, Nietzsche authority, Amun-Rayay, Asa, servant to the 144,000. Peace.